What is up, Protester and PI podcast? And today I'm doing a recap of the Browns-Panthers game. I've watched every single NFL game from week one. I'm going to continue that with every week, so you guys stay up to date, have a recap. If you guys are a favorite team of either of these teams, definitely hit that sub button. We'll be going over your team's games every week. And today we have the Cleveland Browns versus the Carolina Panthers. The Cleveland Browns won this game 26-24. The Browns, without Deshaun Watson, he shouldn't even be allowed in the NFL, in my opinion. Um, I don't get it. I mean, I'm not even gonna start on that. But Jacoby Brissett was the starting quarterback today, and he did his job today. They asked him to do a certain game plan, and he did it to not to perfection, but he did well. He was 18 of 34 for 147 yards and a touchdown. But the main thing was the rushing game. We knew at the beginning of the game, Deshaun Watson suspended 11 games, so we knew they were going to be heavy in the run to take the pressure off of Jacoby Brissett. He still drew 34 passes, which is pretty high, but he played well for the most part. Obviously, Jacoby Brissett, he's a backup quarterback, first of all, so he did miss some throws that veteran starters would have made. He is a veteran in himself, so there's some throws that he knows he shouldn't make. And he had some errant passes today, but it's Jacoby Brissett. We aren't expecting anything great from him. Um, but the rushing game played well. Nick Chubb had 22 carries for 141 yards. Um, really, uh, really, that's what they need. The Cleveland Browns need to do if they're going to win games while Deshaun Watson's out. And they did with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, who won a new contract and hasn't held out. So that's good news for Browns fans. He had 11 carries for 46 yards and a touchdown. Also had a receiving touchdown as well. Kareem Hunt had a good day as well. 141 yards from Nick Chubb. The Browns really took it to the Panthers early on, and they were running the football down their throat, and Jacoby Brissett made good passes when he needed to, getting the ball to Anthony Schwartz. Donovan Peoples-Jones got some receptions for Amari Cooper as well, their new number one receiver. Spread the ball around a lot, and then that running game really dominated Panthers for the most part. Anthony Schwartz also had 2 carries for 20 yards rushing. Receiving wise, Donovan Peoples-Jones was the leading receiver for 6 receptions for 60 yards. Kareem Hunt, 4 receptions, 24 yards, and a touchdown. Anthony Schwartz, one reception for 19 yards. Harrison Bryant, 2 receptions for 18 yards. Amari Cooper, 3 receptions for 17 yards. David Njoku only had a catch. He will probably see a lot more from him in the future, but the game plan is pretty simple for Jacoby Brissett. Run the football, make sure you dominate with the run game, and have him throw passes when he needs to. Grant Tilpit got an interception off of Baker Mayfield. I'll talk about that in a minute. On defense, Myles Garrett had 2 sacks. John Johnson had a half sack. Myles Garrett had 4 tackles. John Johnson had 4 tackles. They were leading the defense in tackles. And for the most part, Cleveland did what they needed to do. They were running the football, like I said, and Jacoby Brissett was throwing nice passes when he needed to throw them and got first downs when he needed to, and that's what led to a dominant first 3 quarters of football for the Cleveland Browns. And then for the Panthers, they were down early, but then they tried to come back in the second half, and they started getting things going. Baker Mayfield, 16-27, 235 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. The interception was a horrible one from Baker Mayfield, a pass that he shouldn't have made. It was a pretty easy pick for the Browns defender there. Grandel Pitt got a very easy interception from Baker Mayfield. His worst pass of the day, in my opinion. It was slow. It is week 1, so Baker Mayfield and other teams are going to be slow starting. I expect that. It's week 1. You don't know how you have no footage of the team's defense and whatnot. But for the most part, the first half, Carolina Panthers offense was kind of stale. They were slow. One thing I want to mention, Matt Rule, I do not like him as a coach. I don't think he can play. I don't think he can coach well. But I think he has the team around him, and be able to coach them to win some games. He has a lot of talent on defense and has talent on offense. For rushing, Christian McCaffrey had 10 carries for 33 yards and a touchdown. Not too many rushing yards because Cleveland defense, Myles Garrett and company, they were putting the pressure on Baker Mayfield throughout the first half. They were constantly making Baker Mayfield uncomfortable, making him throw errant throws and whatnot, and shutting down the run in Christian McCaffrey. So that didn't help the Panthers' offense at all. DJ Moore rushed one time for 7 yards. And then receiving, Robbie Anderson was a bright spot today. 5 receptions for 102 yards and a touchdown. Baker Mayfield had a deep touchdown pass to Robbie Anderson. Found him deep late in the second half, and it was an awesome one. Perfect throw from Baker Mayfield and good catch from Robbie Anderson, and he ran right into the end zone. And you could kind of see the momentum kind of shifting a little bit towards the Carolina Panthers, and they kept running the football. They kept doing their thing. Baker Mayfield started looking better and better, and they slowly started getting the momentum towards them. And they caught back up with the Cleveland Browns. And Jacoby Brissett was getting stopped. The Panthers defense played well when they were coming back. They were playing well for the most part in the first half, but Cleveland's defense kept making the Panthers defense stale. So Cleveland Browns kept running up the score a little bit. It wasn't too big of a blowout, but they did get enough stops to where Jacoby Brissett was able to lead them to field goals and touchdowns. The Panthers defense is a very strong point for the Panthers. Their defense is very good. They have very good players on defense. With Brian Burns on that defensive line, he's a dominant beast. Jeremy Chinn's a really good safety. Dante Jackson's a good corner. J.C. Horn, Shaq Thompson, Xavier Woods, C.J. Henderson can play well. Derek Brown, I really like him in the D-tackle position. Yachugos Matos plays well as well. Matthew Iodonis. The Panthers have very good defense and were able to come back in this game largely because of that defense and being able to pressure Jacoby Brissett and force him to 3-and-outs. Their comeback attempt fell short, though, unfortunately. Fell short, unfortunately, after Eddie Pinheiro 34-yard field goal. The Cleveland Browns got a late field goal in a 1-minute drive. Got a field goal late in the game, and then Baker Mayfield threw a pass to Christian McCaffrey for a yard, and with no time left in the game, and then they just had to do the lateral game basically, and then that's where the game ended. But for the most part, Baker Mayfield did lead in this game a little bit, and I do like Baker Mayfield as quarterback. He played as well as he could have. He was getting dominated with pass rush from Myles Garrett and company, so it was very hard for him to get a clean pass. But in the second half, he was able to throw some balls and get a deep ball to Robbie Anderson for a touchdown and open up that offense a little bit. As for defense-wise, Brian Burns had 5 tackles. Damon Wilson got a sack for the Panthers. And Ian Thomas had 2 receptions for 53 yards. DJ Moore, 3 receptions for 43 yards. 4 receptions for Christian McCaffrey for 24 yards. Baker Mayfield technically fumbled 4 times, but he lost none of them. So, take what you will as that. Just got to be more careful with football, but he got it back, so that didn't matter. But overall, this game was fun to watch. It was fun seeing Baker Mayfield come back in the second half and try to make this thing a game. And they were leading at one point. So if you're a Panther fan, you have something to look forward to because Baker Mayfield can get his connections with Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore, and the defense starts dominating like they did in the second half. It's going to be a very good team. So hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Thank you for watching the PI Podcast. Make sure you subscribe and tune in next time so you don't miss the latest news in the NFL world. You can also follow us on TikTok at PI Podcast and on Twitter at PIPodcasters. Until next time.